Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
John Malkovich is an American actor, producer, and director known for his intense screen presence, distinctive voice, and exceptional versatility. Over a career spanning more than 4 decades, Malkovich has built a reputation as one of Hollywood's most intelligent and unpredictable performers, equally at home in independent cinema, major studio films, and avant-garde theater. Early life and education. Gavin Malkovich was born on December 9, 1953, in Christopher, Illinois, USA, and grew up in the nearby town of Benton. His father, Daniel Malkovich, was a conservation director, and his mother, Joanne, owned a local newspaper. From a young age, Malkovich showed an interest in performance, participating in school plays and community theater. He attended Illinois State University, where he studied theater, alongside other future stars like Laurie Metcalf and Sinise. Stage career. Malkovich's early career was rooted in theater. In 1976, he joined the Steppenwolf Theater Company in Chicago, a group that became famous for its bold, emotionally charged productions. His work with Steppenwolf, both as an actor and a director, earned him widespread acclaim. One of his breakthrough moments came when he starred in the Broadway revival of Death of a Salesman, 1984, portraying Biff Loman opposite Dustin Hoffman. The performance won him an Emmy Award when it was adapted for television. Film breakthrough and career highlights. John Malkovich's film debut came in Places in the Heart, 1984, in which he played a blind lodger. His performance earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor and marked him as a major new talent in Hollywood. Throughout the late 1980s and 1990s, Malkovich appeared in a string of acclaimed and diverse roles: The Killing Fields, 1984, as a journalist documenting the Cambodian genocide; Dangerous Liaisons, 1988, as the manipulative and seductive Vicomte de Valmont; In the Line of Fire, 1993, playing an ex-CIA assassin opposite Clint Eastwood, a role that earned him his second Oscar nomination; Of Mice and Men, 1992, co-starring and producing the film, he gave a moving performance as Lenny Small; Being John Malkovich, 1999, an iconic, surreal film in which he played a fictionalized version of himself, cementing his pop culture status. Later career. In the 2000s and beyond, Malkovich continued to balance film, television, and stage work with his usual eclectic taste. His performances ranged from villainous roles in Con Air, 1997, and Rounders, 1998, to comedic turns in Burn After Reading, 2008, and Red, 2010. He also portrayed Hercule Poirot in the television adaptation of the ABC Murders, 2018, and appeared in Netflix's Bird Box, 2018. Malkovich has also explored directing and producing. He directed films such as The Dancer Upstairs, 2002, and has worked on numerous international productions through his own company, Mr. Mudd Productions, which also produced Juno, 2007. Personal life and other ventures. Malkovich is known for his intellectual curiosity and diverse interests beyond acting. He has lived for many years in Europe, particularly in France and later Portugal, reflecting his cosmopolitan nature. He is also a fashion designer, co-founding the men's clothing line Technobohemian, which reflects his personal style and creative sensibility. Legacy. John Malkovich remains one of the most distinctive and respected actors of his generation. With his blend of elegance, menace, and wit, he has brought complexity to every role, whether dramatic, comedic, or absurd. His willingness to take artistic risks and his mastery of craft have made him a lasting influence on both actors and filmmakers. Artistic style and acting philosophy. John Malkovich has often been described as an actor's actor, someone deeply devoted to the craft rather than fame. He approaches roles with an intellectual precision and emotional restraint that make his performances simultaneously controlled and unpredictable. He has stated in interviews that he doesn't believe in overanalyzing characters, preferring to find truth through instinct and behavior rather than psychological theories. His acting style is marked by subtle expressiveness. He rarely overacts, instead conveying emotion through tone and physical stillness. Eccentric rhythm. His speech patterns and gestures often feel slightly off, creating an uncanny intensity. Dark humor. Malkovich brings an ironic wit even to menacing characters, giving them depth and humanity. Directors and co-stars often note that he brings a sense of danger and unpredictability to every scene. Audiences never quite know what he might do next. Notable performances and collaborations. Over the decades, Malkovich has worked with some of the most respected filmmakers in the industry, showcasing his remarkable adaptability. Some career highlights include Empire of the Sun, 1987, directed by Steven Spielberg. Malkovich portrayed a cynical American hustler surviving in a World War II internment camp. Dangerous Liaisons, 1988, as Valmont, he embodied aristocratic charm mixed with moral corruption, making the role unforgettable. The Sheltering Sky, 1990, a haunting performance in Bernardo Bertolucci's adaptation of Paul Bowles' novel. In The Line of Fire, 1993, his portrayal of a psychopathic would-be assassin earned him his second Oscar nomination and showcased his ability to blend menace with intelligence. Being John Malkovich, 1999, a surreal masterpiece that turned him into a cultural icon. Playing himself, or rather, a bizarre version of himself, Malkovich demonstrated both humor and self-awareness. Ripley's Game, 2002, as Tom Ripley. He brought cold sophistication and existential detachment to Patricia Highsmith's antihero. Burn After Reading, 2008, in this Coen brothers comedy, Malkovich portrayed an arrogant, foul-mouthed CIA analyst, turning absurdity into art. Theater work and directing. Despite his film success, Malkovich has always remained passionate about theater. He has directed and performed in productions across Europe and America, including Hysteria, The Infernal Comedy, and Good Canary. His stage work often explores psychological and moral complexity, blending humor with tragedy. Malkovich also directed the film The Dancer Upstairs, 2002, starring Javier Bardem. The film was critically praised for its atmospheric storytelling and political nuance, a reflection of Malkovich's thoughtful, measured approach to storytelling. Entrepreneurial and creative pursuits. Outside of acting, John Malkovich is a true Renaissance figure. In addition to his work in theater and film, he has delved into fashion design, music collaborations, and producing. His fashion brand, Techno-Bohemian, was launched in 2010 and reflects his artistic and somewhat eccentric taste. He personally designs the clothes, blending old-world elegance with modern comfort. He has also lent his distinctive voice to numerous projects, narrating documentaries, lending his voice to animated films, and even performing spoken-word pieces with orchestras. Personal life and character. Malkovich was married to actress Glenn Headley from 1982 to 1988. And the couple divorced after his affair with Michelle Pfeiffer during the filming of Dangerous Liaisons. He later entered a long-term relationship with Nicoletta Perrin, with whom he has 2 children. Known for his intellect and curiosity, Malkovich speaks multiple languages and has lived in France for nearly 2 decades before moving to Portugal. He is known to live a relatively private, cultured life, favoring literature, design, and art over Hollywood glamour. Despite his reputation for intensity, Those who work with him describe him as witty, polite, and deeply intelligent, often philosophical about life and art. Awards and recognition. While John Malkovich has never won an Academy Award, his career has earned him immense respect within the film and theater industries. His accolades include Emmy Award for Death of a Salesman, 1985, 2 Academy Award nominations for Places in the Heart, 1984, and In the Line of Fire, 1993, BAFTA and Golden Globe nominations across multiple roles, numerous stage honors for his directing and acting work. Legacy and influence. John Malkovich's contribution to modern acting lies not just in his performances, but in his approach. He embodies the idea that great acting isn't about imitation, it's about transformation. He has influenced generations of actors who admire his fearlessness, intelligence, and originality. Films like Being John Malkovich have immortalized him not only as an actor but as a symbol of creative self-awareness, someone who can parody himself while remaining enigmatic. Today, Malkovich continues to act in international productions and explore new artistic fields, maintaining a career defined by sophistication, risk-taking, and a refusal to be ordinary. Influence on pop culture. John Malkovich is one of those rare actors who has transcended the boundaries of his profession to become a cultural symbol. His very name evokes a sense of mystery, intellect, and eccentricity. The 1999 cult classic Being John Malkovich is perhaps the clearest testament to his status. In the film, people literally enter his mind, a concept that playfully acknowledges his iconic persona and enigmatic allure. It turned him into a figure of fascination not only in Hollywood but in art and philosophy circles as well. Malkovich has since become a popular reference in music, comedy, and internet culture. His voice, mannerisms, and intense stare are often imitated by comedians and actors. He's been parodied on Saturday Night Live, referenced in countless television shows, and even appeared in advertising campaigns that celebrate his distinctive personality, notably for Squarespace, where he humorously played himself trying to reclaim his own domain name. Philosophy on art and creativity. Malkovich's approach to art is deeply philosophical. He once said, "You can't really control art. You can only participate in it." He views acting as a craft that should be fluid and humble, not ego-driven. He avoids celebrity culture and rarely talks about fame, preferring instead to discuss ideas, design, and human nature. In interviews, he has expressed skepticism toward the idea of method acting. He believes emotion should come naturally from understanding the moment, not from forcing oneself into a state. His performances, therefore, are marked by clarity and presence rather than melodrama. He also sees art as an act of observation. To act well, you have to look at the world carefully, and not just yourself. This reflective nature has made him both admired and slightly intimidating, an actor who always seems to be one step removed, studying everything around him. Later career, a resurgence of versatility in the 21st century. John Malkovich's career has remained as vibrant and unpredictable as ever. He has appeared in a mix of thrillers, comedies, and independent films, continuing to reinvent himself with each role. Notable projects include Johnny English, 2003. 2018, parodying villainy with impeccable comic timing. Art School Confidential, 2006, as a jaded art professor, reflecting his own nuanced views on creativity. Burn After Reading, 2008, his explosive performance as the foul-tempered CIA analyst Osborne Cox became an instant classic. Red, 2010, and Red 2, 2013, starring alongside Bruce Willis and Helen Mirren, Malkovich brought eccentric humor to the role of paranoid spy Marvin Boggs. The Great Buck Howard, 2008, inspired by real-life mentalist The Amazing Kreskin, showcasing his comedic charm. Bird Box, 2018, Netflix, playing Douglas, a cynical survivor. He brought sharp wit and humanity to a dystopian horror. The New Pope, 2020, collaborating with Paolo Sorrentino, Malkovich portrayed a complex, melancholic new pontiff opposite Jude Law, blending grace with existential tension. The ABC Murders, 2018, BBC, his take on Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot was unconventional and haunting, a weary detective with a dark past. Through all these roles, Malkovich proved again that he cannot be confined to one type. He can be terrifying, hilarious, tragic, or all three at once. Collaborations and artistic friendships throughout his career, Malkovich has formed strong creative partnerships with filmmakers like Stephen Frears, Bernardo Bertolucci, the Coen brothers, and Spike Jonze. He's explored every genre imaginable. He has also maintained deep ties to theater communities in both the US and Europe. His collaborations with playwrights and composers, especially in projects like The Infernal Comedy and Just Call Me God, mix drama, music, and performance art in groundbreaking ways. Malkovich's work with Steppenwolf Theatre Company remains one of his proudest legacies. The company has influenced generations of American stage actors, including Gary Sinise, Laurie Metcalf, and John Mahoney. Design, business, and personal pursuits. Malkovich's interests stretch far beyond the performing arts. His techno-bohemian clothing line, based in Paris and later Lisbon, showcases his passion for elegant craftsmanship. Each piece is designed by Malkovich himself, simple, sophisticated, and slightly unconventional, much like the man who created them. He's also dabbled in winemaking, architecture, and photography, and often speaks about design with the same seriousness as acting. He sees creativity as one continuous expression, whether through film, fabric, or form. In 2008, Malkovich faced a personal financial setback when he was defrauded in the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme, losing much of his savings. Characteristically, he handled it with stoicism and wit, rebuilding his finances through new creative projects and never expressing bitterness publicly. Recent and upcoming work in the 2020s. Malkovich continues to surprise audiences. His roles in television and streaming projects have introduced him to new generations of viewers. He appeared in Netflix's Space Force, 2020-2022, opposite Steve Carell, playing a brilliant but eccentric scientist, showcasing his comedic genius in a new format. He also stars in several upcoming films, including dramas and thrillers set for international release, reaffirming his ongoing demand as one of cinema's most versatile veterans. Perhaps most intriguingly, he starred in a mysterious project called 100 Years, directed by Robert Rodriguez, a film that won't be released until 2115. It's literally locked in a vault until then, making Malkovich's performance a time capsule for the future, a fitting metaphor for his timeless artistry. Legacy and cultural significance. John Malkovich's legacy rests not only on his performances but on his identity as an artist without boundaries. He has refused to be defined by Hollywood norms, choosing instead to live a global, intellectually engaged life. He stands as a reminder that true artistry requires risk, curiosity, and honesty. Whether playing a villain, a philosopher, or himself, Malkovich embodies the tension between intellect and emotion that defines great acting. His body of work, from Dangerous Liaisons to Being John Malkovich to The New Pope, remains a study in complexity, wit, and elegance. Few actors have managed to stay as relevant, mysterious, and original for so long, defining roles and character analyses over his long and varied career. John Malkovich has played everything from romantic anti-heroes to deranged killers to philosophical thinkers. Each role seems to reveal another layer of his complexity as an artist. Vicomte de Valmont, Dangerous Liaisons, 1988, one of Malkovich's most acclaimed performances. Valmont is a manipulative aristocrat who seduces and destroys for amusement. Malkovich played him not as a flamboyant seducer but as a man of icy intelligence, masking vulnerability with cynicism. His chemistry with Glenn Close, as the Marquise de Merteuil, was electric, a duel of intellect and passion. Critics praised how Malkovich made Valmont both seductive and repellent. A perfect embodiment of 18th-century decadence. Mitch Leary, in The Line of Fire, 1993, Malkovich's second Oscar-nominated role was as an ex-CIA assassin plotting to kill the U.S. president. His performance was chilling yet charismatic, a masterclass in psychological tension. Leary is articulate, almost sympathetic in his disillusionment, which makes him even more dangerous. His phone conversations with Clint Eastwood's character are among the most memorable exchanges in 1990s cinema, showcasing Malkovich's ability to make dialogue feel like a duel of minds. John Horatio Malkovich, being John Malkovich, 1999, a turning point in his career, this surreal film blurred the line between reality and fiction. Playing a fictionalized version of himself, Malkovich demonstrated rare self-awareness and humor. He willingly mocked his own persona, the aloof, intellectual actor, while giving a genuinely human performance. When asked why he agreed to do it, Malkovich said he saw it as a great joke about identity and fame. The movie turned him into a pop culture phenomenon, and the Malkovich scene remains one of the most iconic moments in modern cinema. Lenny Small, of Mice and Men, 1992, in this heartbreaking adaptation of John Steinbeck's novel. Malkovich played the gentle but mentally challenged Lenny opposite Gary Sinise's George. His performance was tender, raw, and deeply moving, a stark contrast to his colder roles. Critics praised him for portraying Lenny with dignity and depth, never resorting to caricature. It remains one of his most emotionally powerful performances. Osborne Cox, Burn After Reading, 2008, in the Coen brothers' absurdist comedy, Malkovich brought his signature fury and comic timing to the role of a disgruntled CIA analyst. His over-the-top profanity and pompous arrogance made the character unforgettable. What made it so effective was Malkovich's ability to balance rage with ridiculousness, turning self-importance into comedy gold. It's one of his funniest roles, showing how he can turn dark anger into hilarity. Malkovich's creative process. Unlike many actors, John Malkovich doesn't rely on heavy preparation or method acting.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.